get started with the formal portion of our teleconference, and to lead us off will be the commissioner of the conference, Mr. Mike Aresco. Mike, thanks for joining us. If you'd like to say a few words to get us started, then we can go into questions and answers.
Thank you, Chuck. I really appreciate it, and I just want to thank the writers and media who have shown a real interest in us and who are on the call. I want to thank you very much. It means a lot to our conference. I want to congratulate George O'Leary and obviously the UCF team for their resounding Fiesta Bowl win, and I can't overstate how much that meant to our conference and how important it was. As many of you know, UCF will be playing Penn State in Dublin, Ireland on August 30th to kick off the season. We're really excited about that game. One of the things I did want to mention is that we have been reading a lot lately about strength of schedule, future scheduling of conferences, and you've read about the Power 5 conferences. They're sometimes called the Equity 5 conferences, scheduling either 8 or 9 games, and then sometimes saying that they'll play a game against other equity conferences. And our feeling is we are playing these teams, quite a bit, and we feel that we present great competition, and we will be a force to be reckoned with. We will compete very hard, and we think that a win against our conference is a very, very high-quality win. So we look forward to obviously playing these teams, and I don't want to, I want to make sure that people understand just, again, how strong our conference is and how competitive it is. And just to give you an idea, our teams will be playing Penn State twice this year. Temple's also playing Penn State. Cincinnati is playing at Ohio State and at Miami. Tulsa is playing Oklahoma. We have BYU 3 times on our schedule. UCF, Houston, and UConn will be playing BYU. UCF is going to play at Missouri. We've got games with Maryland and NC State and Vanderbilt, Boise and Colorado State. ECU alone has Virginia Tech, South Carolina, and North Carolina on its schedule. Memphis is playing at UCLA and at Ole Miss. SMU is playing Texas A&M, TCU, and Baylor. Tulane's playing Georgia Tech and Duke. We have Army on the schedule against UConn. It doesn't get much better than that. In fact, it's we think it's the most challenging non-conference schedule of any FBS conference. It includes 6 of last year's top 11 teams, 10 of the top 25. The winning percentage is .566. That's the highest winning percentage of anybody playing again against these teams. So I think that gives you a pretty good idea of our desire to compete and our desire to be, to be great in football. Our goal is not to simply hang in there with anyone. Our goal is to compete and to win. We went out to the Fiesta Bowl, and you saw what happened. And we hope that, obviously, we're the team that ends up on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. We have a path to that for our conference and a group of other conferences. You never know from year to year. But I also just wanted to give you some other information. Last year we had 5 schools in bowl games. 2 of the new teams joining our conference were in bowls, Tulane and East Carolina. We've got, again, 6 of the 11 teams in the American have been ranked in the top 25 of the Bowl Championship Series standing since 2008. UCF in 10 and 13, for example. Cincinnati in 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. UConn, Houston, Tulsa, USF also. We've had 14 players who've received All-America recognition. As you look ahead to this season, we had freshman starters at quarterback at UConn, at Memphis, at USF, SMU, Temple, Houston. We have some great young quarterbacks in this league. Feel we've got coaches equal of any in the country, and they've built tremendous programs. Our recruiting has been very good. As I said, as a conference, we're going to have to scrap and compete. We may not have, in all cases, some of the resources that some of the other conferences have, although we're very similar. We're much closer to those 5. And if you look at the stats and the size of our stadiums, our attendance, the way we compete on the field, we're very close. And our feeling is that we're going to just continue to get better, continue to compete. It's very exciting to be in our conference now. Obviously, we're coming off a great year, Fiesta Bowl win. We had the 2 national championships in basketball. We think football and basketball help each other. They help build our brand. It's very important when you're a reinvented new conference to continue to build your brand. That's what we're going to continue to do. Connecticut just announced, a 2-game series with Indiana. USF, again, will be playing Wisconsin in the future. We've got, all sorts of games in the planning stages, games with Illinois, games with other teams all around the country. So, again, as we enter, the new era of the college football playoff, everybody's got a shot at those top 4 slots. We also have a shot to be in one of the host bowls. And we've also, one thing also to remember when it comes to our conference, we have a tremendous TV deal. We have ESPN exposure Thursdays. We have a Friday, essentially, game of the week where we get maximum exposure. We're on Saturdays. We occasionally get ABC appearances. We're going to have a new CBS Sports Network game of the week as well. So we've got 2 of the greatest, TV entities in the world, really, covering our games, and we're really, pleased and proud of that. Obviously, proud to be associated with ESPN, John Skipper, and John Wildhack, and also, of course, CBS with Sean McManus and David Burson. And finally, in closing, again, we've got, as I said, a strong and exciting conference. We're contributing to the fabric of college football. We contribute to the national picture. We think that the conferences, the equity conferences, will continue to play us, should continue to play us. They'll benefit from playing us. We aspire to be great. We're major players. We've proven that we are. We're going to challenge. Fortunately, our performance has been good. We don't think we'll be overlooked. We want to make sure that you have all you need in terms of covering us. It's important for us, no pun intended, to take the offense, to tell people what we have, how good we are, the players we have. We've got great student athletes who are going to compete at the highest level. That's been our goal, to make sure that this conference, which, as you know, had been a BCS conference and has teams that were in a BCS conference, teams that were in the old Southwest Conference, teams coming in from Conference USA who are the best in that conference and are looking to compete at a higher level. Writers, I'd love to have our writers judge us again by how we play, and I believe you will. I think we've been treated very fairly. We think college football is far more than 65 teams, and we're part of that. And again, our teams are proving themselves. They'll continue to prove themselves. The new teams will benefit by the tremendous television exposure and the level of competition they'll face. And our obviously our core teams are going to enjoy playing these new rivalries. We haven't decided yet on a divisional alignment. We'll talk about that at our spring meeting, and then we'll have that decision either then or later in the summer. So that's about it. I think I've taken up my allotted time. I really appreciate, again, that you're all on the call, that you'll have a chance to hear from our coaches as they've wound up spring practice. And again, tremendous optimism surrounding this conference, and I look forward to seeing many of you in Newport later this summer. Thank you.
Mike, if you have time for a couple of questions, we can turn it over to our media. Hit *1 on your telephone to join the queue. The operator will introduce you.
Sure, Chuck. Sure, I'd be glad to.
We'll take our first question from Bill Hastings with Tulsa World.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Hello, Bill. How are you?
Listen, one quick question. When you entered into a relationship with Tulsa, they were coming off a string of 10-win seasons, and they had reached a plateau and sustained it for a good while. Last season, there was a dip. Now, they don't need a pep talk from the commissioner to know the importance of getting back to that. But how important is it, do you think, for Tulsa to reestablish itself at that level and to stay there?
Well, it's important, Bill, and again, Bill will do a great job there. They've got great leadership, obviously, in Sted Upham and Derek Gregg. They'll be back. We know they will be. They've had too good a tradition. Same in basketball. Look at how quickly, they got back under Danny Manning. Again, Bill's had success there. A few years ago, they went up and beat Notre Dame. They won the title a few years ago. Everybody has a little trough here and there, and we're not concerned. It's important, though, to have all our teams be competitive. It was great to see Tulane. We knew that they were coming back. They made the investment. New stadium coming online. Same thing at Houston. They were in a bowl game. Tulsa competed with all these teams. Tulsa's used to this. We expect them to be, an important part of this league. I think top to bottom, again, Navy will be joining next year. I think top to bottom, it's just going to be an extremely, extremely competitive league. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
No, I appreciate it, Mike. Thanks.
Thank you.